Let me tell you what's happening in the job market right now, because most people are looking at the wrong thing. Everyone is asking, is AI going to replace my job? I don't think that's the right question. The right question would be, is AI slowly making my career irrelevant? Because here's what the data actually shows. The company that makes one of the most powerful AI systems in the world, arguably Anthropic, just published research based on millions of real conversations with their AI. And this is what their head of economics said, and I quote, that there are no real signs of widespread job displacement yet. So we're fine, right? Not exactly, because buried in that same research is something deeply unsettling, especially for people at the end of their careers, people like you and me. So stay with me, because at the end of this video, I want to change how you think about your career. So let's start with what the data is showing in Anthropic research. It's saying the headline is, there are no mass layoffs yet, but the door is closing. And I know this might go against what we're actually seeing in the news, mass layoffs from Google, Uber, Cisco, and a number of other tech companies. But what they are saying is that the gap between what AI can do and what AI is actually doing is still enormous, especially for some particular field. So for example, AI can theoretically handle 94%, yes, of computer and math tasks, but it's currently not doing that. So there are currently no mass layoffs because of that. But what we are seeing is that the door is closing for entry-level professionals. We're already seeing a 14% drop in job finding rates for early career starters entering the workforce. And I think this is where the biggest issue is, because I remember when I started my career at a firm, that was the most crucial part of my career because I learned so many skills, soft skills, hard skills. But because companies are not now hiring at the same rate that they will, it is causing the pyramid to have a disproportionate shape. So think about it. Normally, at the base of the pyramid, when you have your young workers, you have more people at that base. People are learning, people are growing up the ladder. But if you are not hiring in the same way that you used to hire, then we have a problem. I think the ball is in your court to learn those skills that typically you would have learned at the start of your career. Looking at the research, what particular jobs are at risk? To further explain what I mean by exposure, I'm going to put a graph up on the screen. If you see the blue area in the graph, it's basically saying that the theoretical AI coverage for that particular job is high. So for example, look at management, look at business and finance, look at computer and maths, look at architecture, look at life sciences, legal, education, office admin work. And if you think about those jobs, those are typically the high-paying jobs that gone to school for a couple of years, got your degree to enter that career field, right? But those are the jobs that you can teach AI to do, and they're already doing that right now. So basically, we're still in the early days of exposure. Now, if you look at the other flip side, jobs that have a lower theoretical AI coverage. So for example, think of construction, think of installation. For example, I had a plumber come to my house and the person was bragging in quotes about how much they earn on a daily rate. And I was like, maybe I should go into public, but I digress. Agriculture, personal care, I'm thinking of people that do hair, people that do building, maintenance, food and services. Those kind of jobs typically would have low exposure to AI according to what the data is showing, right? And I'm thinking, what does this mean for me? Should I change my career path? Like, what do we need to do? I think it's just important, first of all, to have the awareness of how fast the world is changing. I think that is the first important key. Have the awareness of how fast the world is changing. Know which jobs are at risk. Know which ones aren't. Know what you can do, right? And that will lead me to my next point in this video. So based on everything we're seeing, the world is changing. A lot of jobs that we have traditionally developed our skills for are being exposed and could be at risk of replacement to AI in the coming years, right? So what do we do? There's a term I'm seeing called the portfolio career. And what it essentially means is building your professional life around multiple streams of income and multiple skill sets rather than betting on just one employer, one title, one ladder. And I'll be honest with you, I don't have a portfolio career yet, but it's something I'm learning and something I'm actively building. I think it's just the whole point of this YouTube channel is to share what I'm learning and hope that it will inspire someone else. So that's the whole point, right? So let's continue. So what does this look like in practice? This could be maybe a management consultant that has like online courses that writes for industry publication. This could be a software developer that takes other contract projects. Basically, if you ask me, it's a fancy term for hustle culture. But this could be like a finance professional that consults on the side as well. So basically, just multiple income streams. That is all we are saying. I've seen research from executives that actually acknowledge that the idea of just following one career path for your life is gone just because of how the world is changing. LinkedIn data is already showing that 75% of Gen Z entrepreneurs are already managing multiple streams of income. And that is the only way, I won't say that's the only way, but that is one of the ways to future proof and make sure that you are ready for the coming and changing world, right? So I think for me, the way I would look at it and I would share as well on this channel is look at AI as an accelerant for your portfolio career, right? Not a threat. So, for example, if you want to do something on the side, normally maybe you have had to you have needed a team or maybe software engineers to build a website for you. As I mentioned in my last video, you can vibe code. You can maybe have Claude for prompting, use Lovable for building the app, for example. I think you can give yourself more leverage as compared to before, right? So to me, the way I look at it is that the portfolio career method is just like thinking like an investor. You know, when you have a portfolio and you diversify in different ETFs or different stocks just because you don't want your risk to be concentrated in one thing, I think it's that same approach as well. Let's bring this all together. What have we learned in this video? We have learned that there's some particular jobs that are at risk at being exposed to AI, and they're typically the knowledge worker roles. The entry level pipeline is narrowing, and what that means is that the skills that you typically would have developed at the start of your career, those skills are now left to you to develop them by yourself. The hard skills, the soft skills, communication, right? You have to be intentional about your own growth. Developing skills that compound will be crucial for this next level. So what should you do at the end of this video? Open your notes apps and think, like, what's the one thing I want to be known for? What is the one expertise? What is the one additional value that I could be building today? What do people already come to me for? And what is one additional way I can create income, right? And I think the final thing would be thinking about, like, am I building publicly enough for people to find and trust me? Yeah, the key takeaway for today's video is think like an investor. Try to diversify, try to be always intentional, try to be always building, and I'll see you in my next video. Let me know if there are any other things that you would like me to talk about, and if you have any other points, either agreeing or disagreeing with the points I've raised today, I would love to hear. I would love to start that discuss. So see you in my next video, and thank you for watching my video. Make sure to like, share, and subscribe. Thank you.